Iran says U.S. military killed 5 civilians in attacks on passenger boats. Iranian commander says U.S. military attacked 2 passenger boats, not vessels, in the Strait of Hormuz on Monday. Iran has accused the United States of killing 5 civilians in the Strait of Hormuz, saying its forces attacked passenger vessels in the waterway rather than boats belonging to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC), as claimed. The claim on Tuesday contradicted a statement by US Admiral Brad Cooper, who said Central Command forces had sunk 6 IRGC vessels that had attempted to interfere with a U.S. mission to escort stranded ships out of the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. President Donald Trump later put the number at 7 boats. The U.S. operation, dubbed Project Freedom, has shaken a fragile ceasefire reached between Iran and the U.S. on April 8 and renewed fears of a return to war. Iran's state broadcaster IRGC quoted an unnamed Iranian military commander as saying that Tehran launched an investigation following the U.S. claim of attacks on IRGC vessels. It said while none of the IRGC vessels was hit, the investigation found that U.S. forces had attacked 2 small boats carrying people on their way from Kharsev on the coast of Oman to the coast of Iran on Monday. The attacks destroyed the boats and killed 5 civilian passengers, the commander said. The U.S. must be held accountable for their crime, the commander added. There was no immediate comment from the U.S. military. The violence comes as Trump seeks to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has effectively blockaded following the U.S. and Israeli attacks on the country on February 28. The closure of the vital maritime corridor, through which roughly 1/5 of the world's energy supplies flow, has sent oil and fertilizer prices surging around the world and prompted fears of a global recession and food emergency. Advertisement: Iran is now insisting on maintaining control over the Strait of Hormuz and collecting transit fees as reparations for the destruction caused by the U.S. and Israel. Attacks on UAE ships in Hormuz. The Iranian military on Monday warned commercial vessels they would jeopardize their safety if they attempted to cross the waterway without permission. The military also warned U.S. forces would face attacks if they approached or entered the choke point. Amid the tensions, the United Arab Emirates said Iran launched a drone attack on one of its oil tankers that attempted to transit the strait and said Iranian forces launched 15 ballistic missiles and 4 drones at its territory. UAE authorities said the attacks set off a large fire at a major oil refinery in the eastern emirate of Fujairah and wounded 3 Indian nationals. A South Korean vessel in the Strait of Hormuz, the Hamnarmu, also reported an attack, saying an explosion had caused a fire in its engine room. Nonetheless, the U.S. military said 2 U.S. flagships made it through the strait on Monday with the support of Navy-guided missile destroyers. The IRGC denied the claim as baseless and completely false, but the global shipping firm Maersk said the U.S.-flagged Alliance Fairfax exited the Gulf via the Strait of Hormuz accompanied by the U.S. military on Monday. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said the events in Hormuz on Monday make clear there's no military solution to a political crisis. He said in a post on X that peace talks with the U.S. were making progress with Pakistan's mediation, and that Washington should be wary of being dragged back into quagmire by ill-wishers. So should the UAE, he added. Project Freedom is Project Deadlock. Meanwhile, Trump has renewed his threats against Iran. He told Fox News Iran would be blown off the face of the earth if they attacked U.S. vessels carrying out Project Freedom. We have more weapons and ammunition at a much higher grade than we had before, he said. We have the best equipment. We have stuff all over the world. We have these bases worldwide. They're all stocked up with equipment. We can use all of that stuff, and we will if we need it.